welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and I have the pride, the privilege, nay, the pleasure of introducing you to a podcaster sired by podcasters, a podcaster who can trace his lineage back beyond Charlemagne. I first met him atop a mountain near Jerusalem, praying to God, asking his forgiveness for the Saracen blood split by his sword. Next, he amazed me still further in Italy when he saved a fatherless beauty from a would-be ravishing of her dreadful Turkish uncle. In Greece, he spent a year in silence just to better understand the sound of a whisper. And so without further gilding the lily and with no more ado, I give to you the seeker of serenity, the protector of Italian virginity, the enforcer of our Lord God, the one, the only, Sir James Gill Mula. Mula.
Oh, see, now I'm just thinking about Watt's whole, pain.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. What a great intro that is, man. Paul Bettany just destroys it.
Oh, he's so good. And just right before we were recording, my wife and I were listening to the commentary on this with the director, Brian Helgeland, and Paul Bettany. And it's very dry, and it's very funny. They're talking about how, Thin Lizzy was the only song that got period correct because it was recorded in the 13th century. And I just love the jokes. Queen didn't happen in the 13th century. He's yeah, I know. It's such a thing. Okay, I've always adored this movie. You've always adored this movie from what you've told me.
Oh, yeah.
But I never sat in a theater and went, Queen's playing. This movie sucks. And that's a real thing, though, James. You read the reviews, and a lot of people can't get over this movie has modern-day music. They say things that aren't modern. So I have a question. I guess we got to respect that. Maybe that was a mistake of the director. But is it a case of maybe expectations hitting people hard? Because this is 59% of Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, audiences love it. But why the initial, audiences loved it, dude. This made 111 million worldwide. $111 million worldwide. So it made money, right? But it's so likable. It's so fun. It's so different. Why is that a hang-up?
Why it's a hang-up, I think, is just a general case of there were a lot of period pieces going on at the time that were lighthearted, but true sort of to the period, right? So you have, right
Shakespeare
before
in Love, stuff like that, right?
Right. And even before that, you had Robin Hood Men in Tight, right? That took itself seriously, at least on some of the medieval stuff, but didn't go too zany here. Now you have a fusion of something that's let's talk about music for a second, right? Music transcends it's if you like it, if you groove to it, if it's something that connects to you, it doesn't matter what time it came from, but here it is. Queen, my rock god is Brian May, an astrophysicist, living legend of rock and roll. So Queen comes into it in any movie, and I'm like, oh yeah, buddy. But then David Bowie, come on, Golden Years comes in, and I actually still have the DVD that I had of it, so it has a 14-minute the filming of A Knight's Tale, and Shannyn Sossamon and Heath Ledger, they were both excited to dance so much for that scene, and they're both basically just riffing off each other, and then the music starts getting faster and people just start busting loose, and then you see Heath Ledger almost do that spin kick jump thingy, and you're like, oh yeah. I think it's just made, we were in deep, friggin' Highlander was still a huge thing back here. I think the joining of the Highlander universes came out around the same time that this movie came out, so there was kind of I think it threw people uncomfortably, but the thing that makes people most uncomfortable, I think it's the greatest thing. You're watching a period piece, and the thing that connects to you most is music. So now it's in your frame of reference with these awesome legendary songs, and then, you're watching this period piece, and it's wow, maybe they weren't so different from us. Maybe music connected to them the same way it does to me right now. And that's a cool thread, man.
If we got in a time machine, you and I, like Bill and Ted, and we went to a jousting competition, these people aren't sitting in the stands silently. They want to watch people get their heads knocked off. I mean, this is people cheering in the stands. There's adoring fans. There's probably, I don't know, whatever musical instruments were around at the time, they're playing them there. There's entertainment. There's probably, a jester going around. There's probably some bawdy jokes, some ale being passed around. Obviously, Queen isn't playing. This is a sports atmosphere, I would say. So he just sort of modernized that. And if you think about it, right? All right, Last of the Mohicans. So that promontory, that got you jazzed. Like, that gets you ready to pick somebody up,
Still.
run up a mountain, fight West Studi because you just still want to beat the living daylights out of them because of that role. But it's if you so the director Brian, he just wanted music that got people pumped up. He didn't want period appropriate music at the time. Sure, occasionally it's great, right? Think about Two Towers. Think about.
You don't have to tell me.
Yeah,
this is my study work jammies. I listen to specifically a lot of fantasy film scores. So like I totally agree with you.
And they're good, but they don't get you super jazzed and put you in that atmosphere. I feel like that's rare.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'm not saying there aren't good ones. You need a certain atmosphere to create. And the director did that.
There's always like the one song on a soundtrack. The Return of the King has its like one awesome track of like, we're charging into stuff, you know? But I like your point here is that all the music here was made to pump you up in some way or for some scene, like not one song, the whole thing.
Yeah. The boys are back in town. It's so literal. And
it's just wonderful.
And I just find it interesting that is a major hang-up on people. And for me, so I watched this movie on a loop in college. I lived in a place called the Players Club. I went to Florida State. And I was a sophomore in college. I had 3 other roommates, all different from you could possibly imagine. You know, I had like a weed dealer. I had a guy that like just worked out and did steroids all the time. And like then I had another dude. Then across the hall, there was a bunch of weird people. Like it was the oddest collection of people you could ever meet. It was like our Korea crew. But we all would sit down and watch A Knight's Tale. It was always on. Always on. And
so same thing in Gainesville, right? Not too long, maybe overlapping time periods. Also, shout out to Hobbit's Hoagies.
Yeah.
One of the best places in the entire planet. They treated us well when we worked for Nintendo, and they kind of just let us take over their just delicious stuff. Anyway, love Tallahassee, but I'm a Gainesville boy, man. UF all the way. But it was the same thing. We had like Magic Channel 8. It's a TV channel for the students that you just got if you lived on campus. And it was like, for like 2 years, it was like, coming on at 4 o'clock, Knight's Tale. Coming on at 7:15, Knight's Tale. You're like, wow, all the time. All the time.
I mean, we watched Evolution and Knight's Tale on a loop. It was, I don't know why, but I'm telling you, every time someone came to the house and it was on, they just sat down and watched it with us. Sometimes we'd have 6 people. Like,
everybody loves a scene in it. Like, just rewatching it, and obviously I've seen it a bunch of times, but it's been a couple of years since I had actually sat down and watched it front to back again. And I'm sitting there saying the lines, and I'm like, but again, it's like a good song that you haven't heard in 10 years, but somehow you're still sitting there and like, at least you're getting 80% until the point you're like,
Hey, now you're go and play.
Yeah.
But where were they going? But it's always summer. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. And hold
on.
Yeah.
With one headlight.
Oh, I can sing that whole song.
I know, but that was the
Come on, try a little. Oh, my bad. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Fastball. Where were they going without ever knowing the way? There's some good driving songs in the 90s and leaving songs.
Closing Time.
Open Roads. Closing Time. Open Road song
was Eve 6. Yes, yeah. Absolutely.
Eagle Eye Cherry, Save Tonight. He's leaving in the morning. Fastball, we're leaving. Wallflowers, we're driving. 1979, Interstate Love Song.
Oh man, STP. Now there it is.
My all-time driving songs in 1979 by Smashing Pumpkins and Run by Snow Patrol. And I was like chasing cars.
Now, 1979 was the first song that I heard in my buddy's truck when he started driving. So like he got his license, he got his Ford Explorer, he came over to my house, picked me up, and the first song that he played was 1979. And I was like, yes, in my first song, the first time I got in a car to drive on my own, I drove up the block to pick up my brother and sister from the bus stop. And I listened to Damn It 20 times on the way up, waiting for the bus, and on the way back. Yes.
A day late, $1 short.
Oh, my God.
So,
I'm writing the report. I'm losing and failing.
When I move, I'm flailing now. I turned that in as a poet, so I was a lit major. And I had a class, and I used to be like a real pain in the ass. And they're like, submit a poem to our class, submit a poem. And I'm like, screw Chaucer, I'm doing Blink-182. And I defended it in front of the entire class. And their faces were very annoyed, but they kind of just went, yeah, it makes sense. So like, all right, we'll give it to you. And I got like a B+ on the assignment. So I convinced everybody that it's poetry. We're old.
So, no, well, I dual majored in political science and creative writing.
Oh, nice.
But creative writing was my passion, but like I couldn't make money, but then I took all those classes, so like why the hell not finish it out, right? But in high school, what got me into writing was like, of course, like your first bad breakup. I was like, she left me. And I was cool for like those 3 requisite days of like, yeah, nothing matters. I'm just, listen to Every Morning by Sugar Ray a bunch right now. And, then it hits you and you're like, oh my God, all of a sudden I'm writing all this stuff. But I was really into No Use for a Name and Strung Out at the time. So like everything was like some punk lyric about like just getting your heart torn out and then like being okay with it.
I love it.
And that's what actually got me into writing, which is I've always fused music with other things. And this is, again, going back to the point about this movie in particular, this is what I think is so cool about it, is that the music is intertwined with this stuff that maybe it shouldn't be. But what's wrong with, like, who doesn't go to a restaurant and have a new flavor and they're like, wow, what is this? And they tell you what it is and you're like, that's terrible, but you just loved it. Like, just admit that you love it. Some combinations are great, and this is a great combination. Yeah,
it blends well, and I think one of the strengths of this movie, I was reading this Tor article that says it's the greatest medieval movie of all time. And this is a person who studies and teaches medieval lore. And they just said, they talked about how they, instead of recreating it, they just kind of created the atmosphere that they thought might have been. And I thought that was really interesting. And I thought this beforehand, but they also said, this is what I think is most important of this movie. And this Tor article talks about it, and then I agree. But when you first meet these 3 characters, you know them almost immediately, and you know the vibe of the movie almost immediately. There's very few movies that I can think of where you're on when you're on, like, when you get its vibe almost immediately. And I think A Knight's Tale comes fully fleshed on screen in those first 5 minutes between those 3 men talking about their knight being dead. You get the vibe of it. You get the dynamics between them, the cheeky humor, and then the music comes on, and then the joust, and his helmet is stuck on his head, so he can't, lift it up to show who he is, and so they get their prize. It's just, I think it comes fully formed, and I think that is a big credit to the director, Brian Helgeland, because, dude, he wrote Nightmare on Elm Street 4, the Dream Master, Rennie Harlan movie. He did Conspiracy Theory, Postman, Mystic River, Legend with Tom Hardy, Man on Fire, L.A. Confidential, 42. So he directed this movie, but he's a writer's writer. I mean, a writer wrote it, and that's why Chaucer's in it, and that's the speeches. And I don't know. I think they do a very good job of the world almost immediately, and that's what I really love about it. It comes fully formed.
Man, I've got so much to say about so many things. Just remind me Beowulf here for 1 second, because I want to say that the director and Paul Bettany are friends.
Yeah.
And so he wanted to write a role for him, and so he wrote Chaucer into the thing, and then Paul Bettany was like, "You son of a gun."
Yeah. He had to walk
I'm naked all the time.
Yeah.
And then Brian was like, "Yeah, you can do that though, right?" And so, and it delivers putting him in the movie is just like Trudging is his first. That's the first thing I remembered about the movie. Like every time I think about like the first time I saw it, Trudging, I just loved that scene. But what I wanted to say about Beowulf in particular, because this goes back to what you were saying about it being a great medieval movie, is that I took this great class. It was Heroes and Villains, and it was like an Old English class too at the same time. So, we did like Jonah and the Whale, and we talked about Lord of the Rings a little bit, but Beowulf was really the crux of most of what we did. For that final project that year, we had to translate out of the literal Old English our own translation of a scene, and I did the Wiglaf scene when he goes and rushes in to help Beowulf, which is great, but there's a lot of different ways that you can do a literal interpretation, or you could do something more like Seamus Heaney did in his Beowulf, where he took a lot of the themes of the language, a lot of the alliterative properties of the language, but then, put the excitement in there, the drama that it was meant to convey, probably. Where a literalist translation of it is going to be kind of bone dry because it's just translating words into it without any shadow of meaning or context, really. And so I like what you said about that, because again, back to the music. People were excited about stuff. Like, I now am not going to be excited probably unless I'm at a Ren fair about like some lutes and flutes. Like, it sounds very pretty, but I'm not getting amped up about it. But here we are at this event. This is the sporting event of the time, or like maybe if you're Royals, there's tennis and other stuff like that happening. But these guys are just, this is a dangerous thing, and it's fantastic. These guys are nuts, and like, to put that into a context where you're excited as a current day viewer, where you can connect that way, that's great. Because look at us watching, like 2020 is a perfect year that illustrates this, because we're watching sports on TV and we can't even go to the sports. And like, I've watched more sports this year on TV than I maybe ever have in my life, because it's just there and I want to watch competition. And I'm so stoked about it. I like feeling that way about this movie. It does make you feel that way. And the fact that they explain the rules so early on, they're like, here's the thing, 1 point, 2 points, 3 points. Bah! Yeah. That's it. It's like so easy to understand. It's barbaric a little. It's like it connects to every raw emotion. It's easy to understand. It's fun to watch. You have characters. You have this awesome music. Anyway, I love this movie.
And if I had to put together an underappreciated villain Hall of Fame, I would add Count Adhemar, Rufus Sewell's character.
Rufus Sewell is amazing.
What I like about him is there was the Empire podcast interviewed him one time, and someone on the DVD, they're saying like, Rufus Sewell, a rakish something something something, and they all laughed about that. And I started thinking about it, and Rufus Sewell, when you think about the word rakish, he is the definition of rakish, I would say. I can't think of any other actor that does rakish better than him. And
I can't think of any other actor that does subtle better than him. I honestly can't.
Yeah, I like this role because he's, I don't know, maybe in any other movie he might be the hero, but in this one he's the villain. No, I don't know if he'd be the hero, but he's just this really like bad dude. He's petty, but he's the best. He has a great tagline. I mean, he has one of the most memorable quotes that you could possibly think about. So, you have been weighed, you have been measured, and you have absolutely been found wanting. I mean, when he says that, that's a great villain line. He's just slimy, but he's also tough. He leads these armies. And I don't know, there's something about him that makes it's just a great villain.
So let me ask you a question then about this, because I was thinking this recently. Count Adhemar and Prince Andrew, whose name I can never remember, is like Richard Purejoy.
James Purefoy.
Purefoy, right?
I worked with him on The Following. I'm on screen with him in The Following. I had to wrestle with him.
Fisherman's Friends is one of my favorite movies because nice. I love shanties, and he's a great guy. He just has this confidence about him, this quiet awesomeness. I just love him. I was thinking today, what would happen if you switched those roles? What if he was Count Adhemar and Rufus Sewell was the prince? I could see that. I could actually see both of those actors pulling that off. And it just made me wonder what would have happened if that happened. It's crazy.
Man, they could do it, but I guess I just see, like, I'm going back to this, the rakishness, the mansplaining, the haughtiness of Sewell. He pulls that off a little bit better than Purefoy. Purefoy has this kind of if James Bond became a criminal type vibe.
So like a Jason Stathamness.
Yeah, he's a badass when he gets on screen. You can see that, and he's been excellent in other films. But just the way that Rufus Sewell can be rakish, and just sort of pompous. I can see it. Listen, they would be good for sure. But for me, I think he fully inhabits his character. And also, I mean, Purefoy, for his 3 minutes on screen in this movie, he makes them matter. I mean, there's very few characters.
He legitimizes William. Like, his whole point for such short a time is like, what does he do? He's like, oh, I'll have a draw here. You've given me my honor. Then it's like, we're going to surrender. And he's like, I'm a fighter. And then, they go at it to like, it's just, yeah.
Yeah, no.
I agree. I agree with you, but it does make for an a nice little like Infinity War alternate reality. Like, what would happen if Iron Man was Cap and Cap was Iron Man? Oh,
Yeah. No, I mean, shoot, give me another movie like this. I'll take it. Give me a director's cut. Flip it around. But now, I guess another part of this movie I think that works is just I like that the underdog story is over pretty quick. I like that. So there are these guys who are, the bums. Oh, this guy's a bum. But you do one lowrider training montage where he gets worse, but then he starts winning, and then he wins the sword, and he loses a bit. But I guess for me is, yes, there's underdog aspects to it, but it's not the Mighty Ducks. It's not he was garbage to begin with, and then he gets better. So he was always talented, and that's just refreshing to me. I kind of like that he's good to begin with, just a little he's just a little unseasoned, I guess. And then once a couple good training montages happen, he becomes this amazing knight. So I kind of dig that about it, that there is no, I don't know, I just like that. I think that's rare in film, too. So I dig it. I really like that.
I think you're speaking to something culturally that's been happening almost, though, really. Because I feel it, too. It's very refreshing to see somebody who's like, there's nothing weighing me down. I have no past anchors here. Every day is new, and I'm just going to get better, and I'm going to do my best, and that's just it. There is no like half the movie of like, I'm going to get into fighting, guys. And then, like, you get beat down a couple times, and then you get back up off the mat, and then you do the training montage. And South Park made that point, right?
Yeah.
The montage.
Yeah.
It's got to be in there. So, like, I've been reading this. This is for work. We have a book club, like, Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. But, like, a lot of this book is, like, you can do better. It's all mental, Like, he does incredible stuff in this book, and it's like... But it's nice to see a movie like that where it doesn't have to be like, it's perceived like this guy didn't have a good life. His dad gave him away to a lord, and I like how they treated that moment, by the way. It wasn't like, bye, son, this is your new dad. It was like, hey, you're going on this journey with this guy and you're going to become a stronger person. We're going to say goodbye for now. And that's actually refreshingly sensitive way to deal with something that probably was pretty traumatic, when life expectancy wasn't exceptionally good at the time.
He wanted to improve his stars, right? Didn't he say that? Something about the star?
Change your stars.
Yeah, change your stars.
Yes. Oh my God! And I apologize to all the listeners for whatever accent that tried to be. It was terrible.
and I also like that the drama doesn't last too long. So I like that he doesn't become too famous and turn on his friends. I like that he's briefly snooty to Jocelyn, which is annoying.
Oh, the flower part.
No,
that kills me every time.
Pisses me off. But then they talk, and you know what I like about that scene in the church? It's a one-take, 3-minute scene, but they had no time. So the production company said, listen, we're out of here. And so they didn't have enough time to get the coverage of their long conversation. So that's why they shot it far away as a oneer, because they saved $145,000 by shooting it in a oneer.
So this whole time I'm like, is Mark going to ask me what my favorite scene in the whole movie is? It's the wide shot in the church.
Yeah, and they did that to save money.
It's a beautiful scene. Mm-hmm. It's an absolutely beautiful scene. It gives scope to something that seems tight most of the time, and it kind of lets you breathe there for a second, and it tells a different story for a moment, not just lances. And I love that scene. That's amazing to hear that.
They did it to save money.
Serendipitous, man.
And so, I mean, I think Orson Welles says it best. He talks about happy accidents on film sets. Now, I think when your budget is very limited, you don't have much time for happy accidents because, but I do think out of necessity they had to shoot that scene, and of course they did the close-ups when they talked about love. You have to have love in a close-up. But I dig that she tells him, if you love me, you'll lose. He starts losing. 3 minutes later, she says win, and then he wins. So that's over right there. That's done. And eventually, when they find out that he's not Erlich von Lichtenstein.
Erlich von Lichtenstein.
Oh, I love it. Once they find out that he's William Thatcher, that lasts 3 minutes, and it's over. And the Black Knight, or Black Prince, I apologize, comes in and clears it up. It's done. And then you have the final tournament where he fights. There's a lot of drama at the end. I mean, he does get stabbed by They could go to okay. William could have gone to the rules, the committee, I don't know, the referee, and just said, "Hey, Rufus Sewell, the rakish one, just stabbed me with a fake spear. Pull this out of me."
It's not pasta. It's not pasta.
Yeah, they were throwing. I love that they're throwing pasta at him.
I love it.
But
yes.
they could have gotten him disqualified right then and there, and he would have won.
Yeah.
But then he takes off all his armor, and you're like, "Oh, brother," and he wins, which is amazing.
It's a little Patriot moment.
Yeah.
It's like grab the flag, start running the other way, and then all of a sudden, like miraculous, also Heath Ledger was in that movie too, so maybe there's like.
Well, he didn't get burned alive in this one, so that's good.
Oh my God!
But,
he didn't get burned alive in that one. He was stabbed in the alternate checking to see if somebody's dead moment, and then and then of course his dad comes like 2 minutes later. It's like, no. Anyway,
I thought he got burnt to death. Oh, who got burnt to death in that movie?
That was his wife and his in-law family.
Okay. Oh, jeez Louise. Oh man, Jason Isaac was the bad guy in that. Yeah, but it's just I like how I really get tired of I'm too famous now. I don't like my old friends, and then you go back to your old friends, and this movie lacked a lot of that drama, but it's still over 2 hours, but there's plenty of drama there.
So let me ask you a question though, because everything does seem very self-contained. Nothing takes too long, but at about an hour and 20 minutes, I'm like, what is there an hour left of here? And like, there's some padding going on, and I can't figure out where it is because I generally enjoy the movie, but I don't really feel like it needs to be over 2 hours.
This is why a writer directed it and wrote it. That's why. It's gonna be. Look at his other movies, man. Mystic River. This dude likes to write some long movies. So, Postman? Come on.
No. Now, speaking
Man on
of,
Fire? That's long.
He likes the environment. He likes creating the world, and he wants you to be there. And I get it. Okay, now Mystic River. I loved that movie. It is very long, but I liked that world. It was very interesting, And The Postman, say what you want about it. It was a different world. It was a place to be. But Man on Fire is wow. Now, some of the stuff that happened in that movie, I was like, I have not seen a movie like this. This is great.
Oh,
so,
yeah. He was on fire when he did that.
Man, it really, and you know what? I got that in a, what was it? Hollywood Video. I was like, what was the place that used to compete with Blockbuster? I was in Gainesville, and they had like a 5 for $20 VHS sale. And
I used to love those. Yeah.
I know, dude. My VHS collection was nuts, Because I'm gonna buy 5 videos for $20, dude. So I just kept buying videos.
I had way too many. Oh my gosh.
Oh. There was. I still have some in the plastic. I never even opened. Princess Mononoke is still in the plastic.
Nice.
I've seen it a bunch of times, but I still have the VHS wrapped up. I gotta hold on to that.
Yeah, it's probably a good one. I have the original Star Wars on VHS.
Oh, sweet. Get out of town! My Mononoke can't hold a candle to that. That's awesome.
Right. But another thing I want to say before we go to break, the second unit director, Alan Graff, I liked watching him a lot in the extras. So there's really excellent extras. So I bought the Blu-ray, nothing on it. So I had to buy the special edition DVD, and that's everything. Yeah. I was like, son of a, what is this? But I hate going into podcast or episodes unprepared. And I just what I really liked about this movie is that you hadn't really seen jousting like this before. There had been jousting, but I dug all the different angles that they took to get this. They had the dolly shots. They had a guy on a wire swinging across to get the shots. You had just all the rigs going on, different angles, because you can't just hit a guy the same way each time. You have to differentiate it a little bit when you have that much action. So if you think about different fight scenes in movies like Mortal Kombat or Warrior or movies with excessive fights, they all have to have a different and fun narrative. And so you have a lot of different explosions in this, different angles, and I liked it. But I looked up Alan Graff, and this is what I thought was most funny and funny or interesting, and this is why I think this movie's good. He did The Replacements, Second Unit. So Second Unit, do you know what a second unit is, James?
In terms of what?
A film. Do you know what second units are on film sets?
No, actually.
Oh, yeah. So second units. So let's say, James, you're directing a movie called Big Explosions Character Study. So you're a director who just knows more about characters, right? And so you go ahead and you get the main actors and you just film all the character beats. You film their scenes. You get their emotions. Then you have a second unit director, preferably a former stuntman, who knows action. So while you're shooting in first unit, the second unit goes out and blows stuff up. They flip cars. I've worked on second units before, and they're a lot of fun because you get to blow stuff up. You get to flip buses. I did Goosebumps, the movie with Jack Black. I worked the second unit of that. Flipped buses, pulled
Nice.
cars. You do the cool stuff. And so you shoot the action. So if there's a big car chase with no actors, you go shoot the car chase without the main unit. It saves time.
Oh, okay,
It does all that. So this guy,
that's okay, I get it.
this guy
That's
Alan
perfect.
Graff, he's done the replacements, Any Given Sunday, The Waterboy, The Program, and Necessary Roughness, all football movies. So he was the stunt coordinator and second unit director on these. So
I love all those movies.
he knows how to hit people, right? He knows how to really level folks. So I think it's pretty neat that you feel the hits in this movie, big time.
Oh, man. So part of the 14 minutes of the original DVD making of, like 7 minutes is like, here's why we got some of these actors, and it's kind of cool because it's super young Heath, and like the original like audition tape for Shannyn, and it's like, wow, she nailed it in audition. She sounded almost exactly the same in the movie.
She was
It was
great,
like,
yeah.
holy crap. But the second half was like, listen, Heath is like, I took a hit. I'm not doing that anymore. The stunt guys can do it. And then it's the stunt team, your second team, coming in, and they're like, yeah, we wanted to make it real. And so you do see the guy swooping over like the center divider thing there, getting all the action. You're like, oh my God, that's what the NFL does now for like their replays and stuff. But then they're like, the one guy is like, we got some fun stuff. We're going to drag a guy's going to get tossed on the railing. We're going to flip a guy off the horse. And like, and you're like, whoa. So yeah, I keep thinking about that guy flipping off the horse, and I'm like, all of a sudden you're going on a horse and then you're just jerked back. Like, you know how many G's you probably, like, that's gotta, I can't, dude. And then I'm thinking about the guy getting dragged, and I'm like, you know, one little divot here and like, oops, bounced the wrong way. And you're like, holy, like, yeah, it was intense, man.
No, I love it.
For a movie that's basically lighthearted, you know, this team was like, we're putting it all into it.
They hired,
it's gotta be real.
Yeah, they definitely hired the correct second unit director on this. There's a lot of bone crunching. I dig it. So hey, how about this? Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we will talk more A Knight's Tale. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And how much did you love Alan Tudyk beating up on Paul Bettany? Watt beating up on Chaucer. I love the headlocks and the punches, and when they're dancing, he's making fun of Watt, and he gets punched right in the nose, and then the next scene, he has a tissue in his nose. It's beautiful. I love, he's just this angry character. And okay, this is what I love too, the ending, right? When William is in the stocks and people are throwing lettuce and tomatoes, rotten tomatoes, hey, they're throwing all this stuff at him, and his team gets in front of him. I like that. And then Purefoy comes in, and your team loves you. They got your back. That says everything about you. That's a good moment. These people, and also, once again, you did not have the, I'm becoming popular now, I'm going to ditch my girlfriend and go with some floozy, I'm going to go with some medieval floozies. Helen O'Hara of Empire calls women she calls them space floozies. So in a lot of movies, there's always these guys with two women. She calls them space floozies. So Heath Ledger doesn't take off for medieval floozies, and then realize his problem. And he's one. I like that. I like that his team has his back. He likes his team. William or Sir Ulrich. He likes them. They all like each other. That's what makes it so watchable, right? It's because this movie is it's never exhausting. It's never 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. It's never too much on screen. It's very laid back. If you look at Dazed and Confused, if you look at Evolution, how laid back that is, I could watch that every day. If you look at Everybody Wants Some, the movies that I can watch over and over and over are the movies that move at a relaxed pace And
it is like 65 miles an hour over the Sunshine Skyway in late November.
Yes.
You know, like you got the windows down and you're like, how can anything be prettier or feel better than this right now?
Exactly.
Like, you're not going nuts, but it's great. You're just enjoying it.
And that's not a knock on these movies.
No.
I also think these movies just also allow time to breathe. And so I love some very stressful movies. Green Room is one of my favorite movies, right? But I can't watch Green Room a lot because what it does to me.
Oh, there's so many movies I feel that way. And in fact, Halloween is a terrible time for me because there's so many movies. And you know I'm a horror fan. I love horror. But right now, I feel very stressed in general about so many other things. Like, I know Christmas, I would love to watch Krampus right now. It's one of my favorite, but that's going to stress me out.
Yeah.
It's like so much. Or like the Halloween, like, Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat.
Oh man, that's going to kill me right now. It's like, I know I love that movie, but I can't do it because but then there are movies like, this and my wife didn't know this. The other day, she was like, how many times have you seen Coco? I was like, I've seen it like 9 times.
You can watch Coco that much?
Yeah, she's like, you love this movie? I was like, it's one of my favorite Pixar movies. Like, I love
Top 3.
Coco.
Top 3 for me.
It's just so good. There's something so wholesome and warm about it. The music is great. The colors are
Remember me.
Dude, I can't watch that movie without feeling like something. And it's just this time of year that's why I've watched it so much. It's like I can't think of any other Halloween movies to watch. Like Hoobie, I like that one a whole lot. I watched the Disney Halloween that I still got, the old one with I love the windmill scene in that. That gets me every time.
Yeah.
But man, Coco just it's one of those movies that you can I can watch it probably every day, but
Coco's a gut punch though. You have the horrible musician, the dead dad, the emotions with the grandma, almost losing. That movie to me, it's top 3 Pixar for me, but it's so stressful. I can't watch it that much. You know what's funny? Someone recommended that we watch the Great British Bake Off, that show.
Yeah.
And it's very good. It's really endearing. But someone said you'll watch it and you just get so relaxed. It's the most relaxing show. I watch it and I'm a nervous wreck because I don't want anyone to lose. I don't like these people criticizing their pastries. But for me with Knight's Tale, there's nothing stressful about it. And that's not bad. There's nothing bad about that comment right there. It's just a movie that is it's a fun romp. It's enjoyable. It breathes. It's 2 hours and like 15 minutes. You can immerse yourself in the world. You can visit friends you like. They're all endearing. There's moments you pick up on. And I think for me, that's why I like to watch it the most of many of the movies that I watch all the time, because it just like Hot Shots Part 2. No drama in that movie. It just exists.
I was gonna say it's like a John Candy movie. Like what there's no real stakes here. There's just like some people's feelings getting hurt or like some slight or something. That's it. That's that's the stakes of this, And yeah, you got a good point too. Really, it's what's the worst? Let me ask you a question then. What's the worst thing that happens to any character in that whole movie?
In Knight's Tale, the worst.
Yeah. Just
wow.
Of any character, what's the worst affliction any of them suffered?
Wow. Okay. So nothing happens to Watt. Nothing happens to Roland. Kate, he disses Kate pretty hard, and it's annoying. I hate how he goes at Kate. But that's growing pains. That's their first fight. If you can get over that first fight, he comes back to her. He apologizes. They're better off for it. They survive their fight. They both grow up. Then you have William Thatcher, I guess, just being put in the stocks. But it's never that sad. It just happens, and he's in there, then he's out. So, yeah, and I just want to say, this is not a slight to it. And I'm going to tell you, Ant-Man, the reason I can watch the Ant-Man movie so much, there's no drama, really. It's Michael Pena being amazing for 2 hours.
Dude, T.I. does not get enough love for his role.
Oh, back it up. Back. If it walks like duck, talks like duck, it's a true serum. I want that spinoff on Disney Plus. I really do. I love those. Don't get me started on these guys. Ex-con.
That would be unbelievable.
Just, okay, this sounds weird, man, but any movie that features the lead character dying and then coming back, or any movie that features the guy being too cool and ditching his friends, I don't watch that much. I just don't.
Yeah.
You watch it and you're like, ah. I guess this movie's like a comfort food film to me.
I don't think anybody ended up liking Jon Snow. That's not the person he died. Then he got brought back.
Yeah.
It was like, I know Theon was a jerk, but like, I like that he basically got beat to death and came back. Like, I was like, all right.
His character arc. He had a character. Yeah.
Like, yeah, exactly. There's an art, or like, yeah, I don't want anybody who has implied superpowers for some reason, even if it's not explicitly stated. Like, oh man, luck was just so good this time.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm tired of that because, like, 2020.
It's just, for me, I think it's just an evolution, too. Nothing goes bad in that movie either. It's just a fun flick. And I adore that movie, by the way. And I guess that's why I like this movie. It walks a really nice tightrope. It does. And I'm telling you, man, I lived with some rough dudes in college. And all like, anytime, like, them, their girlfriends, their friends, we would have people just sitting down and watching it. I don't know what it is about this movie, but everyone I knew loves it. Like, I don't think one person, remember I put up the thoughts about Knight's Tale. I said, hey, I want to know what you think about Knight's Tale. And I think only one person said, yeah, the 59% is warranted. And I wish I could have gotten more out of it just to sort of learn why. But everyone else is saying, okay, let's be objective.
Sure.
We're movie critics. We're rating this movie. I love this movie. I'd give it 150 out of 100. That's not even possible. I would give it an A and 3 pluses. But we're being objective. Where does this movie fall? Is it fresh? Is it rotten? Like, where would you put this film? For you.
If I could give it a percentage number, because that's the fairest way, I'd give it a 74%.
Oh, wow. How come?
Because I don't like the pacing. I think there's a lot of filler.
Oh, wow.
It does run too long for me, and I do like... But that's the thing, though. It's like, I only start to think about, like, man, I still got 45 minutes left, but then it's like, I'm interested in something else. It's like, I'm a squirrel.
Yeah.
Running around. But that's my big gripe about it, really. I think 74% is fair based on the aggregate of the people that don't like the whole music premise and stuff, because you got to give, that's a legitimate gripe. People don't like that. I think that's fair. 74% for me would be totally fair because I love this movie. And listen, I liked Let's Be Cops a whole lot, and that's at like a 30-something.
That movie connected, though. That was a sleeper hit. There's something about that movie that connected, which was very interesting, I would say. I like silly. We talked about Club Dread on our thread today, and like, I can't see the name Penelope without saying Penelope. Hey, can we do Club Dread next?
Yeah, I'd love to do it. Nobody probably wants to do that. I love it. It's just, again,
I got a ton of... I read Jay Chandrasekhar's autobiography, the director of it, the commentaries. We have lots to talk about.
Ramathorn. Jeez, yeah. Are you kidding? I love all those guys. They are the Man Broken Lizard. It's just, they're a comedy troupe. They're awesome. And I love that it's a lot of visions, or a lot of competing visions, and I feel like in Super Troopers it came together. I think in Club Dread sort of maybe it got a little, but then the what was the beer movie one?
Oh, that doesn't hold up. Beer Fest.
It doesn't hold up, but I just watched it not too long ago, and I'm like, man, but Super Troopers continue. It's just, like Office Space. You're talking about movies that weren't popular, right? Like, this got a 59%, and then all of a sudden, everybody you talk to is like, I love that movie. I love that movie. And it's like, well, what happened? I think
HBO, DVD. It was on all the time.
But there, yeah, that's true. Saturation probably definitely had something to do with it. But then also, how many? There's not movies that just make you feel better about being a normal person.
Yeah.
Who's just like doing stuff. It's like sometimes you just want to see that. That's what I struggle for. I'm always looking for, like, what's that movie that blew my mind? And I'm like searching through every, like, movie I've ever had, and I'm like, that'd be good. Nah, I don't get into that. But it's movies like this, like something like, for me, like Guardians of the Galaxy or like Thor Ragnarok or like any of the Marvel movies. They're fun. They're just fun movies. I don't want steak. There's a lot at stake right now. Yeah. I just want to be entertained, which is why I can't watch Gladiator.
Yeah. You should go watch I Saw the Devil. It's a very entertaining Korean film that would murder you. Don't watch it. It's
my God.
I adore it, but it's a face punch. And how happy were you to see Robert Baratheon and then see K2SO from Rogue One? Is that the name? The android from Rogue One, Alan Tudyk, and then see the Joker on screen. I mean, this cast went on to and even Shannyn Sossamon went on to a lot of work. So
and Vision.
Yeah, Vision. Paul Bettany went on to some good stuff. I mean, great stuff.
Oh my God, dude. The man in High Castle, Rufus Sewell's role there. And I told you I would mention this. I told you last night I would mention this. He does a lip quiver in The Man in High Castle that will bring everybody down. It's such a micro movement. And I was like, holy crap, dude. Like, he's displaying this disapproval for somebody, and he's got that steelish, rakish face going on. And it's just like a piece of his lip just goes bloop, and you're like, holy
Schlackle.
Wow. Dude, yes.
Hey, so, real quick for you. So David Cross started doing this with me on our episodes. We've been doing all the Universal horror movies, the new ones, and we've had a blast doing it. But he'll ask me, what are your 5 favorite moments in that film? What are your 5 favorite moments in A Knight's Tale? I'm putting you on the spot.
No, please put me on the. I can come up with 5 in a relatively short amount of time.
If you want,
my first favorite moment.
Yeah.
Was definitely Chaucer coming through.
Yeah.
Like, he's just coming through, and he's like, Heath Ledger's just like, excuse me, sir, or whatever he says, and Paul Bettany just turns around like, what's up? And that I love the trudging part of that whole scene was just great. Or even during that same scene when he's like, now I believe that, when like William pulls the knife on it, and I'm like, ooh, yeah, this is pretty.
You're gonna destroy somebody in fiction.
Right?
I love that line.
The second probably favorite moment I have in that movie is the wide shot in the church. It's as the colors, the space, again, it provides breadth to what has been sort of a claustrophobic fight scene. Although there is a very bad CGI moment with like Jocelyn's face in the holy water, and it's just, it kills me because she dips her fingers into it, but the image doesn't change. And I'm like, oh my God, this reminds me of like Sega Saturn water effects. I can't do this. After that, I would have to say it's definitely when Alan Tudyk punches Paul Bettany in the face during the dance sequence. And the thing that I love most about it is not that he does it, because he's been wanting to do it the whole time. He's been telling him about the pain that he's going to bring the whole time. I love how fluidly he gets punched, short fade to black, comes back, but then he twirls back into view with the thing in his nose, and I just that's man, the selection of that whole the movement, the filming of it, the fact that they were just waiting to bring that whole like nose clogger for the bloody nose, that's just beautifully filmed. It's funny as heck. It brings a lot of joy to me. I always get a kick out of that. I would say after that, probably my 4th favorite is the very last scene with the way the measured and you've been found wanting when Adamar's
looking all down at him.
It's now that's the payoff though. That scene is the whole payoff. You're like, haha, we got you, but it's not like you got your burn in. That's what you want. You burned him. Woo! Mm-hmm. Like, I love that. Like, it makes me so satisfied that it wasn't like, we permanently paralyzed you and now you're not a count anymore and ha ha ha. It's like,
yeah, the guy lost.
We got our, yeah,
that's it. He took second place.
And you basically like, you burned him. You're like, haha, I got my dig in.
Wow, that's how the movie ends, with just a burn. The guy doesn't get killed. He cheats and they just burn him. Wow. Yeah.
That's it. And then I guess my last favorite, and there's so many favorites, but if it's my top 5 list, I would say it's probably the first scene with the prince when he is like, listen, I just want to back out with some honor. And Heath Ledger's face to me is so understanding of that, even though he's not nobility, he's just a peasant. And he's like, yeah, okay, I understand something about honor. get that. Here I am faking being nobility, but I have honor. And there's an exchange in their eyes there, and then, they run through it, they raise their lances, it's a draw. But there's a really, really cool connection there, and it's one of my favorite Heath moments. So those are my top 5.
All right. 5 for me is the bent helmet on his face. They can't take it off. It's a good gag, and it makes sense, right? I can't show my face because my helmet is smashed in.
I love that he knocks on it.
Yeah, and you believe it. You just, okay. Number 4 is when Kate catches the broken lance. It's that tiny character moment, and she just snags it out. And the director said that he asked her if she could do it, and she got annoyed at him. For the rest of the day, she caught it every time and just glared at him angrily, which makes me really happy. The next time, my number 3 is there's a cheeky scene where we first meet Shannyn Sossamon, and he follows her into a church. And the priest in there just starts saying, if you were, stop, but you're just too pretty. You just can't. You need to be less pretty. And then she just says, "Yes, you're absolutely right. I will work on becoming less attractive." It's just a funny bit, right? And I think it sets her up as having a sense of humor, having her own agency. It's you play with the whole pretty thing. I just think it's funny. Why did God curse me with this face? It's funny, and it builds on that. I dig that. So I have 1, 2, and 3. Now I got to think of 2 and 1. And for me, what it always comes down to, and even when we talked about in Dick Tracy, it's the little moments. So remember in Hot Fuzz with the Andys, you got a mustache. Yeah, I know. That's the little bits, the little bits that make me really happy. And this movie has a lot of them. So let's see. I guess, all right, I don't know why, but I always find pure joy when the helmet gets knocked in the air and the crowd catches it like a baseball. It's perfect, right? It's great. It sets it up like a modern sports spectacle. People are catching the helmets. It just makes me happy. You took a couple of the ones I love, so I'm not going to cover those. But I'm gonna try to find my number 1. Oh, of course. Oh, so my favorite. Okay, and I saved this actually when he gets hurt, and he goes, "Was she watching?" Oh, I pulled the text. I have it up here. Let me find it. Yeah. Very good. Was she watching? What? Did she see me? Yes, she saw you. Did she see me take the hit? Yes, she saw you take the hit. Well, was she concerned? It was dreadful. Her eyes well up. It was awful. That's fun writing. It's cute writing. It's two people who like each other. They're not being mean to each other. Remember that scene where Alan Tudyk kisses William Thatcher?
Oh my God.
And he's so happy.
Yeah.
And he's so happy. It really goes against type. He gets it.
Oh my God. Does it not make you miss him so much though? Oh man.
And I think one of the things about this movie is just everybody was talking about him on this film, how cool he was. And he actually won me over in the behind the scenes footage of this where, I've worked on a lot of movies, man, and I've done it too. I've been on like a $200 million budget movie, and I've just been complaining. I'll just be like, oh, and then I think about it later on. I'm like, Mark, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. People were sleeping in their cars to get this job, and you're working on it every day, complaining. But in this one, they were complaining about how heavy their outfits were. They're like, it's like you're in a refrigerator. But then Heath Ledger goes, it's fine. We're actors. We complain. I'm getting paid. This is great. Oh no! My favorite scene is when Kate makes that light armor. Kate makes the light armor.
And hits him.
And all the knights are laughing at him.
Yeah.
And then he jumps up on the horse easily, and all the knights go, oh. And then he just walks away smiling. It's a beautiful small moment. Oh, what a beautiful moment. But yeah, it's just, this is a movie that but yeah, Heath won me over just because he admitted it's fine. We're just complaining. We're actors. We're wimps. So I really like that about him. He got it and he understood it. And his performance though, and I'm telling you, 10 things I like about you. The guy just had star power. He had star charisma.
Well, I will admit that the only time an actor has died that I cried about, and there's only a couple of musicians I did, but he's the only one I've ever cried about. I loved him. Yeah. He had such a good soul, and he cared about acting. He was kind to the people that worked with him. He dedicated himself to the role, and he just came across, in those moments, like you said, when Alan Tudyk kisses him, and then he's just got this shocked look, and he almost breaks the fourth wall. Doesn't quite look at the camera, but you see the surprise exuberance. He said in the behind the scenes, he's from Western Perth. Like, this is his changing the stars story. This is what drew him to this role, you know? And I always felt like his whole career, every role that he did, he always had that feeling. I think he really spent every day, every minute that he was acting, loving it.
Yeah.
And that comes across in this movie so well, and I think that gives it. He was just an everyman actor, you know, not dissimilar to someone like Alan Rickman, you know, who was like, 47 years old, now I'm an actor. You know, it's like, who doesn't love to see somebody passionately pursuing their dream?
Yeah.
But still, like you said, not disconnecting. There's no point in this movie that even Aldrich disconnects from his people. He's the one thing about the flowers, like we said with Jocelyn, but he is still very much connected to his roots. He's just, and yeah, so that also weighs very heavily in the fact that this is like my favorite movie of all time. He's just taken too young. I love that man.
What I like about him is he exploded off the screen in '99. Then he went into The Patriot. Fellow countryman, I guess, Mel Gibson on that. But then he did Monsters Ball with Billy Bob. That was a dangerous movie if you watch it.
Holy crap, dude, that scene in the chair.
And then I think he kind of went the traditional stretch that a lot of people do to actors, where he starred in Four Feathers, Ned Kelly, The Orders. They tried to put him in a box like they did with Colin Farrell. Now Colin Farrell's doing The Killing of a Sacred Deer and The Lobster. Like, you try to put these actors into a box. But then he broke out of that in Lords of Dogtown. I loved his performance in that. Then he moved on to Brokeback Mountain. Then, I loved him in I'm Not There. Then Dark Knight. I think he was really trying to. He had moved past the put him in a box phase, and he was branching out. I thought The Four Feathers was an unfair. I think that was the first indication that he was going to take a role that was dramatically different, you know, like that role for him, he's labeled a coward, you know. Granted, it was the Crimean War, so maybe ducking out of that guy was not a bad idea. But, you know, like you said, here he is, he's in these trajectory of lovable roles, and then he's like, different. I'm gonna be the coward, and then it took a weird. Lords of Dogtown though, that was a crazy one. Yeah,
too,
no, I just dig it. I think that he wanted to evolve as an actor, and I don't know. I think his exuberance in this role really makes it, and I know that Brian Helgeland had not directed much, and I think maybe that's why this movie has a lot of meat on its bones, because he also wrote it, but. Yeah, I think it's a credit to him for hiring the right actors and then just letting them kind of breathe on screen. And they did. I don't know. I think that maybe for some people, the Achilles heel of this movie, if it's too long, it's a little shapeless, is also what drives people to it. So, I don't know. He trusted his actors. He let them fly. I don't know. Can you think of a core crew that you like more in a film?
Serenity.
Yeah?
Oh, not that I like more, but if I could think of a core film.
You're not supposed to come up with something so fast, James. You should have given it 4 seconds and then said it. No, I'm joking.
Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard. Okay, but
no, you're right. I'm joking.
No, but
you
really,
will never think of a movie that's better. Bloodsport. Oh crap. No, but
Club Dread.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you talking about?
So, what are some movies where you have a crew like this, and you like all of them? I love Kate, Chaucer, Watt, this entire crew. I like.
Oh man, there was. You probably know better. They've remade this movie. Okay, so it's it's not called Sahara. That's the other one. Although anything with Steve Zahn, that's
that thing you do. They're likable.
Yeah, okay, but that's not my crew. I'm not rolling with that crew. But there was a movie where they're holding down this outpost in North Africa. They've remade it a couple times, but there's a bunch of different characters in it, like the Australian guy with the cool bent Aussie cap, and I think the other Belushi. James?
Jim?
Yeah, Jim Belushi, I think, was in the remake of it, but they're holding down this fort, and everybody's a different character. And that was like the first ensemble movie that I ever saw. And I was like, wow, there's a rough and tumble Aussie guy over here. There's like the calculating guy over, like, I'm a sucker for ensemble casts, but no, I mean, but this isn't really, like, it wasn't built for that. It wasn't built that way. The director specifically chose people that he thought would be comfortable with each other. In fact, Mark Addy, Alan Tudyk, and Heath Ledger, for the first 3 weeks they knew each other. Their rehearsals consisted of us going out and eating together and like hanging out. But Brian, and I can't pronounce his last name.
Helgeland?
Yeah. He thought
Helgeland.
Helgeland. There you go. Thank you, because I didn't know that.
Helgeland.
Oh my God, Gilderland Helgeland. He thought that would be great for their chemistry, and all the actors felt like that really helped out. And then I think Shannyn Sossamon was a DJ at Gwyneth Paltrow's brother's birthday party.
Yeah, and he fought for her.
Yeah, and he was like, that girl is, but Heath really hadn't acted that much. He had been in a lot of theater in Australia at that point, and then moved out to LA, but she hadn't done anything, literally nothing.
Doesn't feel like it.
They had awesome chemistry.
Yeah.
And like literally her audition tape, I saw a side by side today of her audition tape with the line that she said, which was the whole the second part where they're in the church in the wide view, not the horse trample with the bishop. And it was like this. She came in there cold, never acted before, and she just delivered this line. You got it. And Brian called her himself to say, hey, I just wanted to say you're going to Prague for the next 3 months of filming.
Yeah.
And like, wow, like, again, but that's another Change Your Stars story. In the Change Your Stars story, with a lead actor who had admitted prior to that it changed his own. It's like, this movie is for everybody. Plus, Alan Tudyk went on to, everybody went on to great things. This movie was basically a blessing for everybody involved in it.
This guy has worked with some big names. So actually he worked with Heath Ledger again in The Order.
Oh God, no, that was terrible.
Yeah, very bad. But he also directed Legend with Tom Hardy, 2 Tom Hardys. And he worked on 42 with Chadwick Boseman.
Oh,
and he did Payback.
It was so good.
Yeah, so I mean, this guy's worked with some big names. So people must and he's also, I mean, he's an Oscar-nominated writer. He's amazing. But I don't know. Even the little girl that William talks to, he's about the dad. Hey, where's my dad? Oh, he's blind, sir. So he was looking for boys or girls, and he said that boys were like, he's blind, and then the girls were like, he's blind, sir. And so he cast a little girl to be that role. Like, the guy just had a good eye for casting, and it paid off, and it's created this movie that I love, and I'm very happy to talk about.
You know, see, that's why I have to give it that 74 though, because in my heart, I want to give it all the points.
Yeah.
All the points. And I'd give
it an 82.
Okay. I would say 74 to 82 with a plus minus in there. Yeah, that's perfect.
There's a lot of meat on the bone. Also, I come into movies. I think the job of critics and people who call themselves critics, you have to remain objective. So if you see marketing for a film, you have to understand that this is marketing meant to sell the movie. Many times the directors don't cut their trailers. It's very rare for a director to have full creative control of their trailers. So if you see a marketing company marketing a movie and you expect that movie, and it's not that movie, it's not the movie's fault. It's marketing's fault. So I guess when I'm watching this old-timey movie and then Queen kicks in, objectively I'm thinking, this is different. This is fun. Right? I'm not thinking this sucks. So I guess I'm taking it that way. There's a lot of meat on the bones. I do get that, and I can get how the music can be I don't know. It could throw people out there, but I guess I give it an 82 mainly because how fully fleshed out the characters are, and how you know who they are almost immediately, and that
you do.
That
you said,
for me
you said that.
is in the 80s. I'm just gonna give it an 82 because I'm gonna try to be objective. I don't know. I don't even know if that's how. For me, let's say you don't like something.
Sure.
But you try something you don't like, and you're like, this is the best of this, but I don't like it.
So, like, that was a lot of Korean seafood that I've tried.
So you're thinking to yourself, I don't like pizza, but that pizza I just ate was the best pizza I ever had. Would you give it a 1 star because overall you don't like pizza, or would you give it 5 stars because it was the best pizza you ever had, even though you didn't really like it that much?
See, that's why I'm giving it a 74%, because I'm taking a quarter off from my absolute hate, but giving you the maximum score I've got left for the best one you could be.
There it is.
You know?
But yeah, no, well, listen, man, thank you for joining me. I had a lot of fun talking about this movie. I had a lot of fun living in this movie, understanding it. And also, I recommend everyone listening to this, listen to the commentary. You won't learn too many behind-the-scenes facts, but the rapport between the director and Paul Bettany is very funny, and it's super dry. And while we were listening, Megan just kept going, idiots, because they say the dumbest stuff very dryly. Like, just, Thin Lizzy that was a 13th century song. It was right. So it's very fun. It's a breeze. Also the extras. And we talked about that, James. It's really neat to see how they film this. It's a very interesting look into the movie. So you can get the DVD for $5, pick it up, watch the extras, listen to the commentary. I think it'll help you understand the movie more. And also, in terms of a writer, I think this is a good movie to maybe show people because it's too long, but it's fully formed. So it's a really good exercising in screenplay writing. You should talk to your class, or maybe have them re-edit it. Or I don't know. I think
that's a good one. That's a good one, Mark. Yeah.
I think it's written well. It's likable. I don't know. Maybe just use it as a teaching moment for someone, or just to understand it, or just get it to enjoy it. It's an enjoyable movie. But I'm glad we got to talk about this, and I'm glad you recommended it. You said, "Hey, let's do Night Zone." I went, "Yeah." That was an easy sell.
Oh man. Movies are great. Talking to you is great. I have so much fun doing this. Thank you for bringing me on again.
Our next one will be good. I'll let you think about it for a little bit and see what your next one is going to be.
Oh man, it's there's so many, my friend. Well, I'll marinate on that. But thank you once again, Mark.
Norbert just sent me a list of like 12 movies. I can't wait to talk about them.
Oh, I like to think about one that I really want to talk about. I'll space them out, man, because when you get a lot to talk about, when I just love movies that are fun. Man.
Yeah, yeah, we got Dick Tracy and Nightstill so far. It's an interesting combo.
Great pedigree, though. I love it. These are movies that mean a lot to me. So. Oh boy.
It's easier for me to talk about movies that other people love because it just makes my job easier. And honestly, man, I like that we talk about movies we like and still try to remain somewhat objective, but I don't know. I hate dunking on movies. I don't want to pick a movie I hate to talk about how much I hate it because then I just seem pompous. So I love just sharing my love.
So right before we end then, so my buddy used to work for this website back in 2002 called the Gaming Intelligence Agency, and so he used to get to do reviews and then send him copies of games, but like I had the system and like he bought some other stuff, and so we started writing reviews together. But one of the best reviews he ever wrote was for this horrible Army of the Dead game, and like we got the copy, it was free. We went into it like we're just gonna play this. And we played it, and it was just objectively a very bad game. You know how much fun writing that article was? Because you're trying to be objective. But there's no way that you can't impart comedy on that because objectively, this is a terrible thing.
Yeah.
And it's really great when you get gifts like that. Cherry picking is kind of a double-edged sword there. It's nice when you can go into it and say, this is something that I love. It's got flaws. I'm not going to defend the flaws, but I will tell you the highlights of it.
Can I tell you something, though? These are movies. So I don't think anybody should have to defend liking a movie. I don't. And I mean, that's the culture we live in, for sure.
That's what, yeah.
But this is such an objective thing, and we're all so different. Like, just you and I could be neighbors, but between our parents, our income, our situations, our mental states, different movies connect differently with us. And so, maybe when I was young, I was like, you haven't seen 2001? Puh. But now it's, I don't know. I want to get rid of that stigma.
You go through periods. I go through this with me. Oh, you broke up there.
Oh, here. Yeah. Just say I go through periods.
I think that's an important message for the times right now, though, is everything is very Venn diagrammy, but everyone wants to pretend like we're these two circles out here, or that somehow there's other different bubbles. Everything overlaps, and music and literature and movies, comedy. These are things that there is an overlap. There is a commonality between us, and something like talking about movies accentuates some of those commonalities, something the thread that keeps us all together. That's what we need to really focus on, I think.
Yeah.
We got to heal.
Yeah.
You know, we got to heal. And who doesn't like to laugh? Who doesn't like to see something beautiful or hear something beautiful? We all have that in common. We need to get out of this mindset of different and realize how great everything is together.
Amen. I love it. All right. So, hey, thank you for joining me, James.
Always a pleasure, my friend Mark. I can't wait to do it again.
All right. So for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, and for James Mula. Good. I got it. Okay, good. Mula, this is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week. I got so into the first introduction, I called you Mula. I didn't say Mula. I messed up.
Oh, man. It's all good.